Sparks. Nice. Listen, Kazooie is not exactly a musical expert, alright? One day after dinner, while my younger sister and I were lounging around in Banjo's house, we spied a fledgling Breegull, I think Breegull, all on its own, and we shoved it into a fucking backpack for some reason, so now it is permanently glued to the inside of that sack, except in Banjo-Tooie, so this joke doesn't actually work. Anyway, I didn't have time to come up with a whole version of that, and hey, wow, I have, like, files and all. God, I don't think I ever beat this on cartridge, did I? These are definitely, well, to be fair, I bought this cartridge, like, absolute donkeys years ago, so let's blow up this first one, because why not? And off we go. With some of the double furry action, or so, I don't know where I'm going with that. I may not even be allowed to discuss double furry action on Twitch without getting flagged. My channel is already listed as 18+, I'm pretty sure, so, like, you know, they can all bite my shiny metal ass on that one. Dear Lord, look at her. Like, the whole shape of her head, when you count in the point of the hat, kind of looks like a bit like a crescent moon, a little bit, but I don't know, mostly it's just because she's ridiculous looking. And yes, that's right, our thing here, we don't find out about that until later in the game, which means you probably have actually played this, which is fucked up because I know you're not a Nintendo person. Unless I missed the ding pot in the subtitles, which I very well might have. That's right, she is a small hello FBI this one. I mean, I think the FBI probably should get involved because she's a witch and this is a, well, fictional version of. Granted, saying that, I feel like the people in IRL that I know who are, like, you know, at least superficially into that kind of stuff are also very annoying, but that's a whole other thing to do here. An adventure, huh? How many places are there around here to go on an adventure, and what level of adventure would a couple of bears and a talking backpack go on? Actually, do you think Bottles gets in on this adventure too? So, like, what's the deal, right? Clearly Banjo is the tank because, you know, he takes the hits for Kazooie. Kazooie is probably a DPS. Tootie's the healer because this is the 90s and rolls. Meanwhile, Bottles is the other DPS, not readying up whenever you're in roulette. At least I clicked the button, jeez. I still haven't played... When's the last time I played 14? Was like to log in and keep my house or something? Maybe when 7.1 actually drops, I'll be like, yeah. I'll play the story. And there'll be some incredibly fuck shit in it, and I'll be disappointed, surely. Because, boy, oh boy, that second half of that most recent expansion pack, they dropped all of the balls. They call him Bottles because being anywhere around Kazooie drives him to drink. Can it talk? Jesus. Man, that's mean. Everyone in this game, except for like Banjo and Tooty, are just complete assholes to everyone else. Ah, British humor. British humor. Oh, the Ware of Rare. Yeah, let's go through the tutorials because there's a sizable chunk of what we shall politely call banter between the bird and the mole, with Banjo just kind of being like stuck there as the third wheel, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. But we also have, like, no moves yet as a consequence. We can turn the camera. Whoopty shit. Guess what? It's an N64 game, so none of your camera angles are ever going to be good. We can crouch. We can't backflip. We can't do our barge. We can't even roll. I'm trying to match that B button. See, it's even getting picked up on the mic and it doesn't do anything. Anyway. Bottlesman, why don't you tell me a little bit about some of this? Ah, yes, pointing out the yellow C buttons for those of us who are colorblind. Or not. R to move the camera behind Banjo. Worm breath, yeah. Bird, possibly eating birds. Feathery butt, yeah, okay, but Bottles, you haven't seen Kazooie out of the bag yet. For all we know, her ass is bald. Also, yeah, by the way, our jump is hilariously minuscule. We can't even climb trees right now. We'll be getting better jumps in a second, probably. Oh, come on. Bottles is clearly an Olympic pole vaulter. Nobody's watching you, Kazooie. Because, especially if that dude from the old, Microsoft. I almost said from Xbox company, but I guess it's very specifically... Oh, what about his vest? I mean, I guess it's very much technically Xbox company because, well, it is that division of Microsoft, right? Where the one guy was just like, nobody wants another Banjo-Kazooie game, and let me tell you, people got so apocalyptically angry about it. But also, like, not for nothing, comparatively speaking, motherfucker is right. You know, if the choice was down to like, hey, we gotta make either another Banjo game or we gotta make another Halo game, they're gonna make 15 more Halo games before they make Banjo. Because unfortunately, yeah, the Banjo fan base is not actually that large in the greater scheme of things. It hurts a little bit, but I'm sorry, that's just the way it happens to be. I'm ignoring bottles for a second. But also, like, man, I don't think that there's a single fan base out there, unfortunately, that will, like, not respond like that. Which is kind of unfortunate. I would dearly love... Hey, look, it's a one-up that is going to end up dissolving in 3 hours because it's that era of gaming. I really don't know a single fan base out there that would just be like, yeah, okay, we admit it, our thing has a cult following. Like, I don't know, if you got somebody at Nintendo to just say, like, yeah, there's no market for Star Tropic. Wow, look at me lisp. Yeah, it's somebody at Nintendo to go, yeah, there's no market for a Star Tropics 3. I kind of would maybe assume that occasionally some of them would just be like, occasionally, you know, that some of the folks there would just be like, yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, also, I'm adjusting the chat because I just realized that's underneath the one piece of the graphics there. Anyway, he taught us how to swim or something, I think, but I'm trying to jump. On the other hand, saying that, maybe, like, if you get somebody to say that at Nintendo, it will unleash this, like, hidden side of the fan base, and they will just, like, go absolutely fucking apeshit. Yeah, A button to swim slowly, B button to swim quickly. The A button technically gives you a little bit more control because, you know, physics, but also it's an N64 game. Moving around anywhere that's not on land is just no. Absolutely not. Don't fucking kid yourself. You're gonna have a bad time with that. On the other hand, here's things that we're gonna have less of a bad time with. Let's teach Baron Bird a little bit of combat here. We get to meet some enemy names. This guy is named Topper. Hey, any of you remember Carrot Top? When's the last time you thought about Carrot Top? Oh, you were complaining about the last time you got moves, Kazooie. Shut your hole. Surprisingly recently, because you keep... Huh, well, an onion called Ball. Not like B-A-L-L, but like crying. Also, yeah, you would think this roll is like great for getting around with. Unfortunately, you do that massive stop when it ends to pick yourself back up. It kind of sucks as a mobility thing. Ball. Jeez. The Rat-a-tat Rap. The Ratata Rap, wait. Collywobble. I mean, I guess, what do you call it? Cauliflower, right? You gotta make up something real silly. Bog eyes. Alright. Yeah, British, so bog means shitter, but I digress. Hooray! We learned our basic attacks. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, sorry. I also grabbed a towel while I was up because it's quite hot in here, you know, in case I start getting a little gross. Because unfortunately, it's like, I don't know, 70 degrees out, but also it may or may not start raining. And I don't want to have to keep getting up to open and close the damn window because of that. So I just have the window closed and a fan on, which only sort of helps. It's just the proper amount of disgusting weather today to be like, hey, yeah, it's like summer never ended, but also it's not so hot out that you're like, oh yeah, let me go turn on the AC. It'll actually work. Especially because, like, hey, yeah, I can't just do that for just my room. Jam jars. That's a funny word because of other reasons. Camera, would you like to function, please? Yes. Okay, so now we still can't climb trees. I think we gotta talk to this Bottles. Hooray! Also, yeah, during dialogue, if you hold down the A button, it'll accelerate or decelerate, complete with making the voices squeakier. We'll find plenty of other things to climb, and you'll climb them all exactly the same, regardless of how thick they are, so sometimes it'll look a little bit silly if you look a little too close, but hey, it's the N64, you're playing this on a CRT, aren't you? Remember, games cease to exist the day after they're released, and yet Nintendo continues to hold the copyright on them, so they're permitted to suppress them. Yes, even if Nintendo doesn't own the game, this is true. Projection oh geez. Oh boy. Well, whatever. The point is, you're not supposed to notice that some of the rough edges in the graphics, because of low technology at the time. Nowadays, however, I could put it on a I almost said on a HDMI. Yes, that's real smart. On like a high definition television, or well, what I guess is probably no longer considered high definition because, well, it's kind of the norm, if not underperforming. Like a 1080p kind of thing. Nowadays, I think 4K probably is becoming like normal, but I also don't give a shit. 1080p, like really most of the additive quality there is because it's not a CRT, it's an LCD display. But I could put it on something like that and it would look like absolute dog shit. And it would look even worse if I forget to turn off the stretch. Can you imagine playing this stretched out into a 16:9 widescreen ratio on an LCD TV? How absolutely abhorrent that must look. Like, if there is anything that's the exact opposite of being aesthetically pleasing, it's gotta be something like that. The stretch from 4:3 to 16:9, ew, absolutely disgusting. It'd look worse than nuts and bolts. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, and see, that's the other thing about the bit with, all the Banjo-Kazooie fans being very angry about that one dude from Xbox saying that nobody wants another Banjo game. Are you sure you want another Banjo-Kazooie game coming from this Rareware? Rareware in 2024? Like, unless they're gonna give the IP to fucking Retro or somebody, you know, that'll be like... I wouldn't trust them to even make a game that's the right genre, for fuck's sakes. And I mean, yeah, some games can sort of mix and match a little bit with genre, but we saw what happened with Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, which I assume is actually a fully playable game, and most people are mostly angry because, hey, it's a Banjo-Kazooie game, but not the platformer follow-up that people wanted. Also, goddamn, things really do need to just, like, end once in a while, is my other thing. It can't be far away. Yeah, it's literally right here, dude. I'm sorry, I'm ranting. You know, like... First of all, this style of collectathon platforming is so dated. I'm probably gonna catch some heat for that, but... Yeah. This game style existed in the 90s, was born there, and should have stayed there. And of course, Rareware themselves kind of killed it as much as they really built the pedestal for it with this game. You know, let me state that a little better. As much as Rareware kind of built the pedestal for that sort of genre with this game, they did also kind of kill the genre themselves later on with Donkey Kong 64. And also, I am not exactly sold on Banjo-Tooie. Granted, like everybody else I've ever talked to who's played it, or a very large amount of people I've talked to who have played it, who are big fans of this, say that Banjo-Tooie is also kind of not great, that it's a little overboard. But... whatever. I'm just here to make people on the internet angry. According to the new Twitch regulations, I would have to specifically flag my channel if I were to talk about politics. So you could argue that I'm not allowed to do that anymore. It's not gonna fucking stop me if it comes up, but I digress. Granted, most of the time when I talk about when I, air quotes, talk about politics on my stream, it's fairly specific subject matter. Which I would not consider to be political because, you know... and also the part where... God damn it. I'm so bad at controlling these. And also the part where, you know, it feels... There were people who were saying, hey, yeah, it's to cordon off specifically debate-oriented channels. And that's just maybe. Nothing I say is a matter of debate. I'm correct about everything I say, at least politically speaking. You know, that's totally a normal person thing to say, right? But, you know, when what I'm saying is that certain things are human rights, I think that that's actually quite... I think that's actually quite true. A spider that dates many people has become known as polytick. I'll have to go on Reddit, and I'll see if people are actually calling Vriska the... Oh, Jesus. Boy, I'm pretty sure that there's many reasons now why I should just be murdered in cold blood. Anyway, listen, I'm giving folks a real reason for it this time. And here's a bull who is kind of annoying. This bull does not die, but it does take quite a few hits to knock over. 3 from the roll, I believe, and 2 from the rat-tat-rap. It's a... It's a testament to the fact that the concept of damage values in this game... first of all, the idea of suggesting that kind of makes me want to go wash my mouth out with soap. And 2, they are very wibbly in this game because you'll just find certain moves kill things faster, and usually it means that you should peck things in the eyes or however high up you can reach. For example, these termites, we're like massively overshooting them, and they are just dying. They probably deserve it, to be fair, but I'm not here to make that judgment call. Yeah, I mean, this guy just called us ugly for no good reason. Oh, we can't do that yet. Never mind. Why did I think Termite was a Pokemon for a second? I must be getting old if I'm forgetting the Pokemans. Anyway. Alright, so here's the thing. You're going to hear this sound a lot. Also, yeah, because the N64 controller is weird. And, like, nobody used that left chunk of it at all. Like, I could be pressing left on the D-pad right now to switch into that, but no. Press Z and then left C. We're going to be doing this a lot because the Talon Trot makes you move faster, and more importantly, or less importantly, depending on your perspective here, you can just walk around like this. You can walk up steep surfaces. There we go. Words. I'm bad at them. I mean, listen, I remember the important Pokemon, alright? I remember Magnemite. Oh god, I'm dropping frames like heck. Oh jeez. Oh no, we're back to normal. Okay. It was temporary. Stupid weather. I remember Magnemite. I remember the swords. I remember the ostrich. I remember that cool Squirtle who had sunglasses. I remember the fact that they never brought that back later in the series, even though they should just have a Squirtle in, like, the Kamina shades. I would say his last name, but I don't remember Kamina's last name, if he even has one offhand. I haven't watched Gurren Lagann, or really even thought very much about Gurren Lagann in years. I know it exists. I mean, to be fair, I also haven't watched anime in several years. I think I've mentioned this on stream semi-recently. That, like, part of it is also because I hit a certain deep depression. Oh, I can't butt stomp yet. I have to go find Bottles and ask him how to put my ass where my... Oh. Don't say that. Yes, good old mummified skull. Also, I'm pretty sure that Ekum Bokum noise is like a meme that was brought back to life a couple years ago. Anyway, yeah, here's Bottles teaching us how to do the old classic ground pound. A thing that's pretty much a requirement for almost every 3D platformer in some regard, is that you have to have some sort of button that allows you to invoke gravity. Whether that be just slamming your ass into the ground at high speeds, Or doing like the God, what was it called in Ratchet and Clank? I think the Hyper Strike for his stupid down slash move. Or proccing Link's jump slash in mid-air. I think that counts as a 3D platformer. Just a rather esoteric one. Anyway, yeah, I keep getting off track here. The last anime that I watched all of was Izetta the Last Witch. And I regret that immensely. I still kind of have been considering like tracking down a copy of that on DVD, or what would probably now be Blu-ray, because that's where all that shit is. Just as like a, you know, almost to keep your enemies closer sort of situation. Yeah, no, that was a big mistake, and also I watched it very close to the results of the 2016 election. Oops, we're talking politics again. And that, I think, is something that really helped, like, get me spiraling a little bit. That I went, like, full doomer on the entire medium, really, because I was just like, well, the part where it's like, hey, here's fake Nazi times being used as the backdrop for this story. And something about that sat very oddly with me as I was sitting here watching the literal rise of fascism in my home country. Oh boy, I'm gonna get banned now. Anyway, this is not the NSO version. I'm playing this on an actual N64. This is not my cartridge from when I was a child, unfortunately. This is one that I bought, however, from a disc replay an amount of time that I believe is like 15 years ago now. Because I remember that it was less than $10 when I bought it there. And then sometime later, I took a look at that disc replay and I saw another copy there for 20 bucks. Because retro game prices are just like... some of them tend to just go nuts. I'm not sure what this game is worth nowadays. I'd have to actually check, but I would, hey, thanks for, like, causing me to become paralyzed suddenly. Anyway, this big, goofy bootleg monkey is chucking oranges at us. And we break all of his blocks with his oranges. And we get a jiggy for it. Yay. Don't jump into his legs. Don't be me. Yo, oranges are nice. Thank you, buddy. We take the orange over to bootleg Diddy Kong here, and yep. Oh yeah, this is basically Chained Kong's, like, less successful brother. Is it still called Chained Kong in the remade version of Super Mario RPG? I did not buy that. I should look up and see if it's, like, become a price that's acceptable on the eBays yet. Answer, probably not, but I digress. Also, yeah, that is a very large monkey, Tev. There's a lot of things in this game that are just, like, bizarrely huge. And that also kind of becomes true of a lot of the other Rareware games for the N64, where there's just stuff that's, like, really massive. They have a bit of a thing going with... like, just things that are... I don't want to be, like, too much like, oh yeah, the writers are sneaking their size play fetishes into this game. Despite the fact that Rareware does have a frequently very, inappropriate kind of sense of humor. And by inappropriate kind of sense of humor, I mean that if somebody was out there who wanted to make a video game based on the 70s British film franchise Carry On, which is like kind of par excellence for like shitty 70s British sex comedy, this would absolutely be the company who would. They're kind of a little bit on that sort of sense of humor at times. The other thing I can say for certain about Rareware is that, and also they love and abuse the fuck out of leitmotifs in music. You'll notice that a lot throughout this game, in fact. Oh hey, Bottles is gonna heal us, nice. I'm gonna see how much Banjo-Kazooie for the 64 is going for here on eBay while I take a second. I'm seeing carts in the like $25 range. That is, well, it's topping out at 30. That's pretty good actually. So I can't really be mad about that because I expected significantly worse. Ooh, copy of Super Mario RPG for the Switch sitting at 32 bucks on eBay. That's not bad at all. I mean, it shows that it's got the case and everything. It looks a little bit like somebody chewed on it. Or at the very least, like, not like there's teeth marks or in it or anything, but like a little bit of, like, you know, label scarring and shit. But yeah, I mean, that's a price that's like acceptable for that. Honestly, I feel like that's probably what it should have been at to begin with because it's a remake, but you know, Nintendo tax. It said free shipping, so yeah, anyway, yeah, big monkey, shoot him every once in a while. With eggs, we're not using bullets on the giant ape. Come on. This guy is wearing he's wearing a Harambe, Jesus Christ. Wearing a little bit of like a something there. It looks kind of like a I was gonna say a vest at first, but it's not long enough for that. Is that Big Ape wearing like a crop top or something? That's not exactly the phrase I'm looking for, I think, but still, like, you know, it is an ape wearing clothes. It's basically a human. We're not allowed to say that we're shooting it with anything that's not, you know. Although, I mean, getting shot in the face with an egg would hurt too, because high velocity object. Tav, believe it or not, the case actually looked like it was in good shape. And, more importantly, was present. Which is, it feels like a bit of a rarity with video games, full stop. I mean, especially retro games, getting stuff with the cases nowadays is a little bit painful. I mean, even worse for anything with a cardboard box, but even a lot of the hard plastic stuff. Like, I'd love to get a case for my copy of Echo the Dolphin. Because I love Echo the Dolphin unironically, and, like, that would be just a cool thing to have for display purposes. Display porpoises, rather. I'm sorry. I almost missed out on the obvious joke, and you guys would have been very disappointed in me if I did. You're gonna mail me something. Is it a bomb? I hope it's a bomb. Oh God, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm allowed to say that on Twitch either. Oh boy. Oh. We're screwing things up pretty badly here tonight. Anyway. Oh boy. Oh shit. Hey, there's blue eggs up here in the rafters in Mumbo's skull hut. Actually, what's this thing made out of is my question, because that outside texture is very Like, it looks like it's stone, right? Or bone, or, you know, like it's actually made of a real gigantic human skull for some reason. Also, we don't have enough tokens. As you can see on the sign, we need $5 for this man. Best shaman in all game. Are there more that I don't know about? Champ? Yeah, so we need more money to deal with this strange humanoid creature's highway robbery. So give me a second here to do that. God, you would send me something very silly like that. Unfortunately, I would be looking for like the actual plastic Sega Genesis case, so unfortunately, unless you can stick one of those in there somewhere, I think that would be a little bit at cross purposes with what I'm looking for here. Anyway. Now I gotta go find another token for this. Tape the inside so it's shiny and it looks like... You know what? I appreciate the effort you're going to for this shitpost to, like, say these things. Okay, so we got... Yeah, we got the... We got the Ekombokum in there. Heck, get in there. Boot like a dolphin. Listen, I just had this weird thought. You said... Wow, okay. Is that even a joke that's, like, funny to people anymore, is to mention NFTs? Anyway, you said that, and I immediately thought that, like, it was gonna be... That you were gonna be like, I'll print it on there. And I was just about to be like, I don't think cardboard will go through an inkjet printer, Chief. You're not being funny, you're being insufferable. I mean... Listen, I don't want to be the one to say it, but you're fine. This is a good bit. This is a grade A. Well... Yeah, I guess grade A. All considered bit. But yeah, it really is like a lot of the initial surge of people being upset about a lot of that stuff about like AI and shit, because and this is related, has kind of like died down so severely that it's actually a little bit sad to me. Wow, okay. Grade C? Yeah, I see what you're doing there. Now, where is this last token? It's somewhere obvious, isn't it? I'm being a fucking buffoon here. I'm being a huge just joker about... Well, you probably should explain the joke anyway, because there may be somebody in the audience who doesn't get... There it is. Yep, I was just being a chonkler. Alright, let's go. I'd say let us never speak of this again, but come on, this is hardly the biggest... This is hardly the biggest boo-boo I'm gonna make playing this game. And if you think that I'm gonna do just fine with the rest of it, I got 2 words for you, Mr. Vile. That's right. Banjo has plenty tokens. Of the non-fungible variety. Anyway. I'm glad that NFTs are dead. Or mostly dead anyway. Like, not completely, unfortunately. But I'm glad that they didn't hit the point of, like, nobody really giving a shit anymore. That AI basically has. Because, unfortunately, it really does seem like it's just a few of us who are sane who are continuing to be aggrieved about the way things are going with artificial intelligence. Hooray! We got all of our notes. This guy wants our shorts that shouldn't fit on a termite's butt. Anyway, I didn't really explain very well the collectibles in this game. Every level has 100 notes, 10 jiggies, and 5 Jinjos. We picked up the 5 Jinjos earlier. Get all 5 Jinjos for one of the 10 jiggies. The jiggies are permanent collectibles. Notes, if you leave the level or you die, the most notes that you got in that life are recorded as like a high score. But it also resets all of them afterwards. So if you die before you collect all 100 notes, you have to go back and get them again. Because somebody forgot to think through the fact that this isn't Mario 64. Oh yeah, every stage has 2 of those hollow honeycombs too, by the way. I forgot. Remember the Spyro 2 cart minigame? Oh god, was that fucking Trouble with the Trolley? I'm not listening to myself right now, and I never do, so you should be happy about that. Yeah, see, Bottles is going to explain to us how this game is shit. Yeah, I remember that. It was a design, alright. Anyway, we need to take the termite transformation out. Shut up, nerd. That's even old dialogue. But if we start walking around the overworld, eventually we will reach a physical line where we get transformed back into being these 2 goofuses. Anyway, people I know are fucking RPing with bots that are somewhat powered by AI, and it's like, listen, Dale, part of the experience of that sort of thing is just like growing a mutual hatred of the other person. I mean, wait. Fantastic. That's... Anyway, the internet sucks. That's the big takeaway here. Everything is terrible now. And also, this is a design decision that thank goodness I don't think people are making anymore. Actually, it does explain your RP. Yeah, I bet. Let me tell you, the amount of people that I've RP'd with over the years who I would just strangle if I met in person. Okay, I'm overkill, being a little overkill there, but also, jeez. Oh god. This is the 2nd day in a row. Wait. Fuck. No, it's not the 2nd day in a row. It's pretty damn close, though. I heard somebody make a fucking Robin Wizard hat joke a few days ago on another stream that I was watching. And I immediately picked up on it, and I was like, oh my god, that... I about died when he said when he said that on stream, and I was just like, holy shit, what a throwback. That's beautiful. Oh my god. Oh. Anyone else putting on their robe and wizard hat? Anyway. To remove pieces that you have already put down, press the down C button. What a strange choice. I don't know why this is even, like, a thing you need to worry about. Already on. Good. Oh, I just wanted to hear the sound, because I don't think I've ever heard that. So, yeah, I don't know why that's a feature, because, like, the amount of times you'll need that are quite few. But I digress. There's a thing here that's still transparent, so we can't get on that. Yeah, but find you where? What, will you tell me anywhere that I find you? Like, would you tell me if I found you at the bar that you go to help deal with the fact that you had to put up with Kazooie's shit again for another, like, 8 hours this week? Excuse me. Yeah, I know, I say 8 hours this week, like that's actually that much time. But, listen. Ah, yes, there we go. Another magic pot of teleportation. That's what I wanted out of here. Gold feather. We can't use it yet, and it will be a little bit before we can. But, hey. Maybe we can fence it and we can afford to buy a... I don't know. Full-time's hard to find in this fair. It's true. Listen, it's very funny to me, honestly, in retrospect, thinking about how, like, a year or so into the pandemic, everybody was like, oh yeah, the labor force has been so damaged. It'll be easy to find jobs that pay well, and you know, prospective employees will have more leverage. Guess what didn't happen? At all. Like... And I'm pretty sure I said, too, at the time that sounded like a load of shit. Or rather, that I said that it was going to be an issue. And then someone else said that I was wrong, and I was just like, well, talk about this, really, because I didn't want to talk about it. And, hey, wow. Wouldn't you know, late-stage capitalism is designed to not fail unless it is destroyed. And remember that this is not considered a failure point for it. Anyway. I'm really trying to, like, speedrun this banned for politics thing, huh? Like I said, though, it's not debate. I'm correct. Anyway, there's a shark in this water. He's an asshole. Also, he talks every time you get in the water. Listen, fucker, I'm trying to get this blue guy. I'm bad at video games, so you gotta do this to me. Cheese and crackers. God, he gets sillier. We should cancel Snacker because he's a bully. Coffee and mint. God, see what a jerk this dude is? Come on. Alright, give me these red feathers that aren't useful to me right now. Oh. Grab. Now, the crabs can be fought with, like, pecking them in the eyes, but if you give them the old butt stomp, they'll give you 2 honeycombs worth of health. So it pays to do the thing. Shut up, Blue Jinjo. I see you over there. I hear you. There's just a giant asshole fish over here. Oh, I thought he was gonna approach me from the other side, and I would be like, how did he even fit in there? Come on. There we go, that works. Well, now that we've taken a whole 6 damage from this complete jerk shark. Jeez. Oh, man. They need to put him in all the water sources in this game, even stuff where he doesn't fit. Like, just give me a tiny, like, ankle-high pond where Snacker just shows up and it's just like, yeah, by the way, I'm gonna kick your ass. It would be so awful, but it would be so funny. I hear a problem creature over there. Not the hippo pirate, but the other thing. Alright, chicken legs. It's time for you to learn how to fly. With your legs and other things. I don't know. Stand on octag and press A. Yes, I pronounced it like that. Listen. What if I just, like, said things in the most annoying and awful way possible, always? I'll gladly accept a green Jinjo. I mean, not always. Come on. Just most of the time. Yeah, A button to fly higher. Only allowed 50 red feathers, but that's probably fine. Hooray! We got a puzzle piece. Yay. Oh, you better make good on that threat, Grunty, because this game has really only had one challenge so far, and it was a fucking shark. So, like, what, are you gonna actually spawn more of them in places now? It could be like that one level in Echo the Dolphin. There I go, mentioning it again. Also, this hippo communicates entirely through belching, apparently. A pirate who can't swim! That's actually a lot more common than it sounds. I'm pretty sure. Butt stomp a hole right into this dude's shipwreck, and you find... Well, first of all, you find one of these. And then you find some of those. I'll give him one of these, and I'll give him one of those, and one of these. Oh. Sorry, the person that joke is for isn't here right now. Where is... There we go. Yes, for some reason that thing makes it sound like 2 chunks of, like, iron getting clunked together. Someone just clapping 2 buckets together furiously in a studio or something. Well, I mean, technically that's true, but that isn't necessarily the full word I'm looking for there. Alright, all pieces of this guy's treasure have been collected. And over here we go. Hey, buddy. Where do I throw his other wad? Come on. Hey. Hey. Do I have to walk in front? Okay, sure. You should probably have kept that Jiggy. Then you'd have more gold to spend, and in this economy, you'd probably need that, buddy. Yeah, these little hopping clams are quite annoying because they will knock some of your, like, ammunition out of you, and you'll have to go back and pick it up. So this is another kind of basic power that I think is in a lot of these games, where you'll find, like, a very specialized sort of disc that you stand on, and you hold A, and you do a big jump that's bigger than your backflip, and your depth perception fails you, but then again, we are talking about the N64, so meh. Hey, you jerk! That's better. Now, of course, we're trying to be careful because everything is around, like, thin edges here. And for reasons that I cannot properly state, I am just very bad at navigating in fixed directions on the N64 especially. Like, yeah, most consoles with analog sticks, I will not necessarily, like, use those super well, but the 64 is, like, a special kind of you drift off very easily. At least I do. Yeah, see, the goofy clam knocked an egg and a red feather out of us. I somehow couldn't remember that it was just called a red feather. I was expecting to call it something else for some reason, but... something in there, and well, hey, it's free self. Posting a link to my own stream in here. Hey, you. How's it going? Mr. Canadian. I don't have any follow-up to that other than stating that you are Canadian. Which probably sounds real nice right about now. At least in your country, electoral doomerism is probably going to have to at least wait a couple days at bare minimum to reach a peak. Other than the part where our country sucks and we just kind of drag everyone else down to our level and beat them with actually probably lack of experience, come to think of it, but I digress. Anyway, how you doing? I'll come back for the rest of that particular side quest later. And, this. Because otherwise I will forget and I'll feel real silly about it. Yeah, basically, I'm not sure offhand when Canada is next having any sort of elections. At which point we'll be able to be like, man, fucking first past the post, right? Boy, I'm sure glad that we don't have that in America, as we basically have a first past the post of our own, really. It's different. Next year. Well, you see, sensible, I think that's the issue, is that how likely are you to actually get anything like that in that sort of setup? And the answer is, well, you can always count on a certain group of people to ruin it, and that is politicians. They're real good at ruining things. Next year, gotcha. Well, hopefully at bare minimum, you won't be having a dude... Oh, hey! Thank you for that raid, Oog, with a party of 6. Thank you all. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, basically, at the very least, hopefully... next year, Brian, and any other Canadians in the audience, you won't be having to deal with the possibility of a dude who just straight up wants to take away large swaths of rights from people. Well, in as much as, you know, basically not to the extent of our nut, is what I'm saying. Oh. It's this jackass again. Ah! Get away from me. You already stole like 6 hits from me when I was trying to get the blue Jinjo. I have paid your blood tithe, snacker. Fuck off. Oh, jeez. Yeah, to be fair, like the amount of Canadian politics that I know is not great. It, you know, oh Jesus, that's a little terrifying. It just, I'll read the rest of that in a second, but I saw he's gonna switch you to Bitcoin. That's, oh boy. Wouldn't that ruin the whole part of not being government centralized? But I digress. Maybe they would pull something out of their ass to try to account for that. Anywho, yeah, my Canadian politics knowledge is quite minimal. And I often forget even the stuff that I do know, probably because, well, I'm not as immersed in it due to not living there. which isn't like a roast. It's probably better to know about stuff that's going on in the world compared to everywhere else, compared to just knowing about stuff in your own location. But yeah, I should have remembered. Hey, yeah, remember that the fucking trucker convoy with those nutbags? Weird bit of trivia about the crazy truckers in Canada from a couple years ago. One of the guys who used to do art for a certain card game, whose art that I actually kind of liked, got fired because he supported that. And all I can say is, goddamn, Watsy, can you figure out, like, why you seem to keep hiring guys who are, like, way too into the fascists? Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Good that he got sacked, but also, like, the company needs to do a little bit of self-reflection as a consequence. Anywho, let me scroll up here. Yeah. With their party gathering, not climate change is a thing. Jackasses. Switch to Bitcoin. A conservative party would probably completely parrot Trump should he win. That's deeply unfortunate. I'm sorry that you guys have a little bit of the shitification that we're getting in this country too. So far, Baron Bird is going pretty well. I am not necessarily playing good, but at this point, A, nobody should be coming here for good performance, and B, I've never been great at 3D platformers, even the ones that I think aren't, you know, kind of underwhelming. And I haven't played this game since the last time I tried to, and it caused my N64 to overheat because I had the thing sitting on carpet like a moron. Not my smartest move, that's for sure. But my 64 seems to have survived very, very well, all considered. You know, modern electronics, if you get them just 1 degree above their specified temperature there, and I'm talking 1 degree Fahrenheit, not even like degrees Celsius. You get them just a tiny bit over there, they will just completely grenade, never be usable again. I gotta say, basically, it's been a couple of years since I've seen anybody do like Nintendium memes about any Nintendo hardware, and that ought to tell you something. Because actually, this thing is still in an era where Nintendo made stuff that was pretty hardy. That said, I completely understand them using, you know, not regular hardware and emulation and stuff for that museum that they're doing. Because, let me tell you, I wouldn't necessarily want to... Those things would probably not live through all the grubby hands, right? Granted, I would kind of want to, if I was doing something in a, you know, if I was messing around with hardware in a Nintendo museum that they had out on display for you to touch and play games on, I would 110% make sure that I was going there wearing, like, some pretty hardcore rubber gloves. I'm going in there with... I'm bringing out the lab grade shit for that, because otherwise, good lord, I gotta imagine the sludge that some of the hands that have handled those have been immersed in. Anyway, let's try to not die as we get back to shore real quick. It'll be fine. Nintendo with a board inside with a piece broken off and it still works. Nice. That's pretty solid. Again, it's nice to see that all the old hardware is still, like, viable and stuff. Because I personally, admittedly, I'm the sort of person... Maybe it's just because, like, I'm starting to age. Yeah, I feel like I can't say I'm old here because I'm actually probably the youngest motherfucker out of anybody who's been in this chat today. like, I think Irene is like 38 or something. Tav is definitely older than me by a couple of years. I think he's 37, maybe 36. I forget. Brian, I know that you're over 40. Oh yeah, just poop eggs in this bucket to fill the hole. I'm not sure how old Oog is, but I'm willing to bet Oog is older than 34. Is all I can say about them. 44, did I? Yeah, all I said was over 40. You are correct. Anyway, yeah, so if I feel a little bit silly saying I'm getting old when, again, I'm surrounded by folks who, compared to me, are significantly like, because what does that make you folks? Fossils? That guy belongs in a museum. Oh, by the way, it's very hard to see from here, but that sign says Shark Food Island. And if you try to swim out to it, guess what'll happen to you? Ouch, my accurately depicted pride. Solve my puzzle and win a prize. Yeah, in addition to things loving to rhyme in this game, here's the other thing they love to do is they love to make you spell Banjo-Kazooie. That's right, you look up on the wall, and there it is. I gotta ask, how fucking stupid does Grunty think we are if she keeps putting this puzzle in front of us, right? I guess the real puzzle here is doing the hunt and peck. Although, ironically, we're not really... Well, it does kind of look like Kazooie's got her head tilted a little bit outward. So maybe saying hunt and peck is still kind of technically fitting with the pun. There is at least one instance that I'm aware of, by the way, where they ask you to spell Banjo-Kazooie backwards. Oh, this guy's got moves, apparently. Also, takes 2 hits and gives us 1 honeycomb anyway. What an absolute cheap ass. Yeah. Yeah, during Grunty's Furnace Fun, correct. Is it only the one minigame that she gives you that has that as a thing? Because, yeah, it's the sandcastle one again, but you have to spell it backwards. But I could swear that it shows up somewhere else, too. What's our totals looking like for this level? I'm suspecting we're at 8 jiggies? Yeah. Mad Monster Mansion game doesn't show up. That's probably for the better, because that... Oh, God. That's a place where the camera just... Ooh. Oh, the camera in that particular challenge. Yeah, although, yeah, in general, the camera angles just kind of keep getting worse as the game goes along. To such a point where it's like, okay, you guys are doing this on purpose now, right? Like, it starts feeling like that's the real challenge, is that they're just kind of effing with you with the camera. Alright, here's this big fella. Oh, what can we even find here then, champ? Cheeky bird need feathers clipping. Anyway, I guess this guy's kind of like a mini-boss. You know, in a similar way that if you want to count Conga as being a mini-boss. Pretty easy, though. You know, simple pattern like that, but the timing on this third one is a little tight. I tried to be smart because I was like, okay, I seem to remember that it was like, hey, it's very hard to get in there without getting into another cycle, and I'm pressing my buttons at a bad pace here, so I'm making this look significantly harder than it is. Oh, Jesus. If I die to this, I'll be real sad. I'm gonna go back and check for one more honeycomb. I don't know if that resets the fight, but it probably does. Alright. Alright, Champ, what have you got going on here? Hey, there's our first death. Wow, that was pretty bad. I told you, I haven't played this in a couple of years. So, in my defense, that's indefensible. There is a, like, weird movement pattern that you want to do, if I recall correctly, for the third phase that, like, just makes it easier. But hey, thank fuck the jickeys don't get reset. Otherwise, that would just be a real pain in the butt. All right, so let's try to not get our asses torn off by this dude again. Or is it really just like stay as close as possible? All right, let's let you do a second cycle here. Oops. I was trying. I swear. See, that's better, but I feel like I just did the same inputs as before that were getting me hit, so I must have just been a little further back or something. And at the same pacing. Okay, just bull rush him at the third. Alright. I gotcha. I wasn't sure if there was something a little smarter you had to do there, or if it's just be not shit at the game. Which is pretty hard for me. So... yeah, let's pretend that never happened. Or bring it up again out of nowhere several streams from now, and that's always fun too. I'm at 18, yeah. Yeah. 9 out of 10 of these. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to go back to re-grab all the notes, and the thing that I forgot to finish was the treasure chest chase. I was like, what the hell is the other jigsaw on this level? And it's the one where you pound the X's until the chest shows up and you have to peck its eyes out. Because for some reason the tiny gold treasure chest has eyes. Which means that if it got attacked by a spiteful crow from Earthbound, the attack text would still be correct. I don't know why I just thought of that, but like, those guys are jerks. Man, fuck them crows. First they steal your bread roll, then they peck your eyes out. Like, come on. Plus they got like the smuggest facial expression I've ever seen on a bird. And they're wearing sunglasses. just the biggest jerks you could imagine out of any basic enemy. Oh, there's an Ikambokum here. Oops. That's right. Because considering some of these transformations later, Mumbo is going to be doing some highway robbery on us. You better be prepared. Yeah, these trees just have eggs in them. I'm pretty sure there's notes on this path. I don't remember now. Yeah, see, there's a couple here. Oh yeah, there's falling damage in this game. I was actually about to bring that up and say, don't dive all the way off of the arch, you'll probably die from falling damage. But I took an extra point of falling damage like, I don't know, 10 seconds before I was gonna say that, so hey. Now I don't have to. Wait. Oh yeah, this guy. Ever-present guy. Now, one of these chests I think has notes in it, and I don't remember which one. That one, that'll be it. All right. Yeah, I remember that thing, buddy. I remember when you said that exact same set of words before. Ouch. Yeah, it's a lot harder to prevent fall damage in this game than it is in, say, Mario 64. Although that was a nice fast stomp we did there. That really did just drop us right off the ground pretty well. I say drop us off the ground? That'd be a weird thing to say. So this pool I think has just like a jiggy in it or something. It's got some great camera angles, that's what it's got. Oh yeah, and if you get too close to these angry mines, they will start trying to chase you down. Yeah, I was gonna say there's a one-up over there, right? But I jumped way too early. I told you, I'm not good at this game anymore. I'm not good at, like, any games, but this one I'm pretty specially bad at. We don't need to recollect the Jinjos, by the way, because we already have their thing, so that's good at least. Oh, I thought for a sec that we missed that entirely, and I was gonna be a little bit mad at myself. Well, we managed to do, like, the one bad play that I was... We managed to not do the one bad play I was immediately expecting out of me, anyway. That's a better way to phrase it. That's just eggs. Let me out of there. Hooray, we broke the 78 that we got at this. I thought it was like 80 something earlier, but no, I'm stupid. I can't count. Can't play video games, can't do math. Jeez, I'm not good at anything, am I? Fuck. It's okay, buddy. This map isn't that... well... Cut off the sentence early, but this map isn't that large. I won't have to look very far. And it turns out I was not kidding. I mean, I was pretty sure it was, like, right there, but... I do remember that, but also... I did want to finish saying the thing before I got there. Anyway... Oh, for some reason the chest model doesn't have eyes, but the little talkie sprite does. Well, there's our last Jiggy. Now we have a couple more notes to pick up, and I think most of them are in the shock jump pad area. With the last few that are not being in the sand castle. And if that's not true, then we're going to have to deal with everybody's favorite part of any collectathon, looking for that one last shitty little point to get a perfect in the level. Because ultimately, by the end of things, Banjo-Kazooie is a game where you do want to get very close to everything. If memory serves, and I'm not saying that it does, to unlock everything in the game, you need basically 98% of all collectibles. Wow, my aim is absolutely gone down the shitter here, huh? There we go. Apparently I wasn't facing correctly. There we go. Now we just gotta pick up another 4 of these real quick. Yay, we got all the notes. Now let us never speak of my terrible performance on this level ever again. And one last time, fuck you, shark! I swear we will never be seeing that guy ever again. And if we do see him again, I'll eat my hat. Okay, yeah, it came off the cannon that was up there, so we gotta go this way. Hooray! Okay, so from here, there's some stuff we can do, and the first thing we can do is we can go look in this hole. It's underwater. We're not gonna find anything very useful, but we can go look in the hole anyway, because why not? Yes, we can see a very incomplete painting here for a place called Click Clock Wood. It's not easy to see that. That texture is quite blurry. But hey, it's a nice detail that the names are on all the paintings. Would that this were not an N64 game intended to be played on a cathode ray tube that was probably quite blurry. But hey, it's good to see that the art team was paying a little bit of attention to detail. So first thing we can do is we can go unlock this note door. And then continue to be stymied if we go this direction, so we're going to ignore that for the time being. And we are going to go not in there, we're going back another room yet. Right here. And just start inserting things into... Place all your pieces into the puzzle. Press Z. Alright. So basically that's what we're going to do from now on. We walk up to a puzzle and we press the Z button. And it's going to fill all the way in. And here we go. Here's our next level. Clanker's Cavern. Ah, yes. A favorite of probably nobody. Because guess what? It's the first water level in the game proper. I mean, there was quite a lot of oceanic life and whatnot going on in the Treasure Trove Cove, but this level is much more about that underwater exploration. And it's got a freaky cyborg shark. There's actually kind of a lot to like about it, but I wouldn't fault anybody for being like, yeah, that place is a shithole, because honestly, it's creepy and hey, N64 swimming controls. Oh, he's a geek, huh? What's Banjo's, like, geek hobby is my question. Like, what, is Banjo secretly into 40K or something? Oh, hi, it's Brentilda. Gruntilda's nicer sister. So, we're not really going to pay a ton of attention to her for now, but we will later. She tells us information that is actually quite important for once we hit the game show at not quite the end of the game. But also, I would like to actually I guess, do that all as one block or something. Maybe depending on how the pace of this overall game goes. If my play here has been anything of an indicator, then that definitely serves as a bit of a bellwether for terrible times coming in a certain level that may or may not rhyme with Musty Bucket Day. I'm not trying very hard here. Most people know this game very well, and I'm pretty sure most of them think about Rusty Bucket Bay and they immediately have a trauma response of some description. Hey, look, it's another puzzle. For the 4th level. But hey, why not open it now? We got the pieces. That opens the way to Bubble Gloop Swamp. That place also contains something that's a little bit out of my nightmares. But we'll deal with that probably on my next stream. Again, assuming that Clanker the Shark doesn't make my N64 just explode or something. It just pops out of the cartridge and then eats the machine and then returns back to the cartridge. And then we all just kind of go, the fuck was that? Even though none of us got to see it, except for me. It's hidden well. Actually, when I was a kid, the first, like, couple times I played this, I didn't find that. Probably because I didn't really do a whole lot in this level. Until a few years later, because even back then, you know, this whole the swimming controls really suck in these games kind of thing is not some, like, new complaint of, like, oh yeah, well, we've got games that do that stuff better nowadays, which... A, I'm skeptical of that sort of response in general, and B, no, they sucked back then, too. Ouch. Yeah, those eels, the Champas, I think they're called, they are jerks. And as usual, it is ideal to hit them with the Rat-a-tat-rap just for reasons of number of hits it takes. Because otherwise, I think it takes 2 hits if you try to, like, just punch them. And for some reason, I imagine you roll under them, but I could be wrong. Hey, look, it's one of those things. Hey, look, it's one of those things. Hey, maybe we'll get to use those golden feathers in this level. Finally, if you had those, it might help that guy understand how a kilogram of steel and a kilogram of feathers weigh the exact same amount. Oh, Limmy, what a strange individual. Wow, look at that yawn. Oh, that is a very badly placed note. I'm going to go backwards for it, but first I'm going to resurface. Because turning underwater already sucks, but imagine now you're doing it in a confined little tube. So technically this is easier, until I miss it. Okay, it's a little less painful than I thought if you're holding the A button, but only a little bit. We still kind of hit the wall. Oh, you. At least we can jump there. That's good. Can we jump up to this? No, we would need... This one I think we have to land on from above. Somehow. Excuse me, it does have a 1-up on it, so that would make sense. Yeah, you can see those notes floating in the air, so I'm sure that you all can figure out eventually we do have to get this shark out of the grunge water. That's right, I said grunge water. It's water that listens exclusively to Nirvana and Soundgarden. Or something. I'm not trying very hard with this joke. But you knew that already. See, I can do this alright. Shockingly easy 1-up. It's alright though, the cap of lives in this game is 9. Plus, we're gonna lose them all when we switch off the console anyway, so, like... The actual value of getting them is not exactly super high. Yes, we got some mutated crabs. With their gigantic eye and their big fiddler crab claw. Actually, I don't know, that sort of thing is a little bit normal, but maybe having legs that thick is not. Only 4 of them. I thought there were like 5 or 6 or something. But hey, an easy Jiggy. Again, that's sort of the, like, mini-boss, if you will, of this level. Every level in this game, as far as I can remember, has some sort of, like, staged fight, sort of... set. Actually, come to think of it, no, there's quite a few that don't. But this is about as close as you get to something like Nipper or the ape whose name I forgot because it was silly. This is for the Jiggy, isn't it? Yeah, I can tell by the twist there. So yeah, not hard to get it, but on the way back. Plus, we've got to go into the camera here, so that's never recommended. Yeah, a little tight, but we managed to get away with it. Ah, crud, I missed a note. Well, that's okay. We can take as long as we need to with this. By that, I mean, I got about an hour left in my usual stream time, but it's not like I've, you know, never been... It's not like I've never gone over, right? Yeah, this level is a pain in the ass. Welcome back, by the way. I'm just trying to get one note. Come on, game. There we go. Alright, so we got the Jiggy over there. We got the stuff from that pipe. That short pipe down there, I'm pretty sure is just like eggs or something. We can't get the stuff on Clanker's back right now. Is there anything in this little side tube? Yeah, Come on! There we go. I had a feeling there was a Jinjo or something there. It was either that or an Ekombokum. I wasn't sure which, but both of them have some value. Well, I'm surprised we didn't quite hit that level yet, Brian, but it is true. I'm not good at swimming in this game. Or a lot of things. Unfortunately, that means that now I have to go into the hole under Clanker, and I need to get ready for misery. Because we are deep underwater. This dude is just chained to an anvil, and we've got a key in it. Like an old-timey wind-up key. Or like something you'd find on a sardines can. And we got a Jinjo around here, and where are you, fishy? Oh, those bubbles are only worth 2 notches of air a piece. Oh god, is it gonna be better to just go up and down a bunch? It might actually be. I feel like what this game needs is like Sonic drowning music. So that way we could just hear it so much during this section. And see, I'm trying to play this a little bit more carefully. Ah, fuck. Well, as soon as I said anything about trying, I immediately failed. Get the bubble. There we go, that's better. That's right, I'm playing this like I'm as old as it was when it came out. Actually, that's not true. I didn't play anywhere near... I wasn't anywhere near as good at getting these bubbles when I was 8 years old, so... I mean, granted, I'm not exactly necessarily displaying a ton of skill right now, but also, compared to when I was 8, yeah. Alright, switch over to gambling a little bit. That goal light. Good emote. I love the fact that you mounted the goal light into the ceiling of your stream zone, by the way, Brian. That is real nice. You're having a lot of fun with the TRB. And just sort of turning into, you know, streaming a lot of sports games in general. Between that, you and Jack playing the NHL games. Real pity about NBA Jam and NHL 96, but hey. I've been digging what I've caught of NHL 94. Even if its Brass Bonanza is underwhelming. Alright, so I'm feeling like I've got enough air to get out of here. Oh god, oh god, oh god, get out of the chain. Banjo. Never mind. I said something and I got stuck on the goddamn chain. You see, I think the real trick here, above everything else, is that I need to just not ever express any level of confidence and just to let things play out on their own, because otherwise, as soon as I say, oh yeah, I've got this, it falls apart. Regardless of how I'm feeling in truth. Like, I've definitely been more confident than I've expressed on a couple of things here and there. Like, look, I'm still kind of shocked that I managed to actually beat the Pokemon League in that Emerald Rando with the very underwhelming team that I had that was like not even full size. And the fact that our then newest Pokemon on the team was basically the one who carried most of the weight. So sometimes it really does feel like the exact opposite of the feelings I expressed there are what end up coming to the forefront. But let's get back to this place and go collect our notes. That was a decent catch. Oh, you're not out of the soup yet, are you? I have to bring you back out of retirement. I am marginally sad about that. I mean, it's a minor thing, but it is kind of weird. If they're like, oh, by the way, if you die before you pick up the Jiggy, Clanker just goes back down. I bet that son of a bitch Gloop undid my key work, didn't he? Just like wound it backwards in order to suck Clanker back into the poo water here. Right? Deflated by seeing my corpses. Well, fair enough. Alright, incoming goofy crabs while I pick up a couple of notes. I was gonna say, is it only 2 this time? But no, I definitely hear them. I'm not healing because we don't need the health right now. That's not the resource that is of import to keep us alive for the time being. Actually, maybe at this rate. That one did 2 damage to us. Yeah, so sometimes... And I'm not sure what causes it. Sometimes the Champas just hit you for two, did I almost say 2 hearts? I almost said 2 hearts. Sometimes the eels just hit you for 2 health. For some reason. They just decide, oh, nope, you gotta pay an even bigger tax this time, Chuckle Nuts. And you just have to accept that, even if you're being like, well, that's a little rude. I don't know, the damage change is just kind of random, really, so... I don't know. But this is a part where I definitely need to get a little bit better, because I was doing okay at this before. Hooray, the easy one-up came back. Well, at the very least, I'm less salty about the clanker hole. I could describe that a little better, but I don't want to. Camera? Can I get a camera angle that doesn't suck? Nah, who am I kidding? I'm playing a game on the N64. Ah, for shit's sake. Alright, time to reset our air meter. Hey, we're not dead yet. Probably. Just very, very nearly. Oh god, where the hell am I? And why? Oh, Rareware wasn't known for a lot of things. This is what I get for holding the B button so much, by the way, but still. I feel like I turned pretty heavily while I was just going down. Holy shit, I'm so bad at this. Alright. Do this less badly? Probably not, but... There we go. That's all of those. Alright. Reset the health meter. Health meter. Air meter. All right. Now, it's probably a good idea to come in here and just be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna gonna mess around with the key real quick. You know, get in, get out, deal with the other things. And I failed real badly at that. So, I'm going to try... I'm gonna try going back down. Fuck it. Camera! Oh my god, get out of the fucking anvil. Oh, Jesus. Well, we're gonna die again here, and in the same place. Because the fish is on the other side of it now. God, I hate the swimming so much in this game. We'll come back for the notes later. I'm gonna go and get the shark out of the pit. And then we can get the notes afterwards. I know that part of it is my fault for just, like, wailing on the B button so much instead of anything else, but... I mean... You turn slower than dirt no matter what. That's right, I said slower than dirt. I'm not sure what that means, but it does now, so... And say the Z button do something for us, because it looked like it did for a second, because I know I twitched it by accident. Turn. There we go. Well... at least Weird Fish isn't introducing himself to us again. Once. Yeah, hey. Bloop, you are a useless ass. God, and I thought... Well, I was gonna say, I thought hitting the bubbles in Sonic could be hard, but... Usually it's not that bad. Two. Rotates. Yeah, hi, Jinjo. Jesus, Brian. What did he ever do to you? This is where we find out a very weird story about Shrek. This is where we find out that Brian, like, one time got attacked by some dude in a Shrek suit. Oh, Jesus. Well, okay, we got out of the water that time, so... Alright. Alright, Clanker. We're not dead this time. Hooray, we've managed to at least stop fucking that up for like 2 seconds. Now I have to die in a far more embarrassing way. As if there was anywhere to go but up in terms of being less embarrassing than, you know, dying to the crab. Pick up the note. Yeah, Clanker's body does kind of like move around a little bit, as you can tell, which can make getting things a little bit tricky. Oh, Jesus, yeah. Oh, my God. That fucking garbage truck shit. Jeez, man. Oh. Well, that was a little worrisome, but we're all okay. Yeah, Brian, you follow that particular insanity enough. I'm sure you saw the garbage truck thing, right? You probably also know about the squirrel, don't you? But actually, you know, I'd say that probably anybody knows more about the squirrel than I do. I know the basics of the story, but also just, man, this is getting too weird for me. No on the squirrel. Okay, so I'll tell you the story about the squirrel is that some dude in, I believe it was in New York State, was keeping a pet squirrel named Peanut that I guess was viral, supposedly, because of it wearing cute hats or some shit. I don't know a ton about that, but yeah, so the squirrel was euthanized by police because it probably had rabies and it bit someone. And now all of the right-wingers are freaking out that this is going to be like the way that when the Democrats win, that this is how they're going to, the proof that they're going to enact this weird 1984 horse shit that they keep trying to be like, oh yeah, that's absolutely the thing that the Democratic Party are more likely to, like, bro, if the Democrats are going to do anything to you about your personal politics, it'll be because you, like, said free Palestine or something. Okay, yeah, maybe that's a little mean, but from what I've been told, she is actually trying. It's just that it doesn't get in the news anywhere because, well, something, various issues of the media, but I don't want to get too much into that. I guess that's the logic. At this point, I don't get it. But also, I'm just thinking that, like, yeah, okay, they're gonna get you because they euthanized a squirrel. Is, on the other hand, like, God, I need to like piece my words together here. I think it's very interesting to see them this concerned about an animal out of nowhere, particularly a wild animal, because I remember the RFK Jr. shit with the bear, and that coming up again a couple of years out of nowhere. Now that RFK Jr. is a political person that people have to pay attention to, which is kind of fucked up, but I digress. Right, yeah, things are... Let's just say that shit's bad with regard to a lot of that, and basically, politics in that area suck in general. Anyway, RFK, the guy who wants to take the fluoride out of water because... some reason. Oh, is it? It's getting mad at you for Turkish. That's... I'm pretty sure I have the automatic thing on the lowest. Yeah, it's specifically highlighting the words Turkish fucks, but yeah, it's like, yeah, Turkey's a bit of a mess right now, is my understanding. That, like, hey, yeah, things are not great there for regular citizens. And I'm not 100% certain about anything to do with Hungary either. Yeah, see, that's fine. You have to say it in the other order now, I guess. Well, basically, like, wow, you mean to tell me that these things are not well programmed, right? Yeah, Eastern Europe is not having a good time of things. That is absolutely true. I mean, there's kind of a rise of fascism in general around a large part of the world, which is scary as fuck for a wide variety of reasons. But yeah, Eastern Europe seems to not be having a particularly good time of it, especially. I guess at the very least, France hasn't brought back Sarkozy, so, you know, somewhere sucks less than everywhere else. New Zealand seems to be, like, the second last, but I digress. Yes, and not even on just a philosophical level, but that you know, that's always the fun way to put it. But, yeah, exactly. You know, I'll dunk on the left, air quotes left, as well, and say that there is one thing that I saw a couple days ago from the Harris camp that I was a little bit like, that doesn't necessarily fill me with the greatest confidence here. So she was talking about how Donald Trump was a bit of a hypocrite. You know, saying like, oh yeah, he wants to take away trans care stuff, which is something that has been stated. But also pointing out that prisons under Trump, you know, during the Trump admin, were providing care of, you know, of that sort of variety to inmates. And I gotta say that that's a bit of a weird thing to use as like the specific one, because with no qualifier, and here was the problem, there was no other qualifier, is that, oh geez, you know, there was no other qualifier there. It kind of sounds like, you know what I'm trying to say it sounds like, right? You're smart. You're good enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like you. And yeah, I think that that's the other thing, is that you say that there's been a prodigious growth in terms of any, you know, of that in the past 7 years. It's a new topic for a lot of people with regard to any of the gender shit. So, like, I'm not necessarily mad about people who don't know about it. If someone has taught you and you continue to be an asshole, that's when the problems will start arising. I may not necessarily want to be around somebody who doesn't know, because I, like a very large amount of people who get into the "it's not my job to educate you" kind of camp, I am too tired for any of that kind of stuff, and I don't want to take risks. Which is how I will explain it, is that, you know, it probably is my job to educate you, but unfortunately, I'm just a little bit wore out. But also, I know that if, you know, and I learned this specifically from Chris Hayes a few years ago. He was tweeting about this, that a lot of people who just Google stuff like that end up led straight down the conspiracy pipeline. Yeah, exactly. See, the empathy part is, I think that that's probably one of the biggest elements of it, is just like, how difficult is it truly to just not be an ass, right? Like, just treat others the way they would like to be treated on the very simplest level there. You know, just don't be an asshole to other people, man. It is genuinely not that hard. I'm not always necessarily the best person in that regard, but also I like to think I try a little bit more than other people, and I am aware, at least on some level, of when I am awkward and bad at things, Like, I'll give you, for instance, with regard to at least that part, on something that's probably even heavier, because in my most recent video, I went into some very, very dark shit with regard to a certain video game and, you know, dealing with the idea of it possibly intending to depict certain things. And a big part that I gave as a disclaimer is like, hey, yeah, I use blunt discussion as like it's a thing I do very often, but also sometimes being blunt is part of like a bit of a bit too. That I'm nervous that I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound bad. So please bear with me, kind of shit. Still gotta watch it. Well, whenever you get the time. Again, I hope you like it. I've had generally quite positive responses to most of the new stuff I've made since I've come back to doing YouTube. I had a couple of people who said some things in some of the comments on the Chrono Trigger video that are a little bit silly. And by that, I mean, some of them are just like absolutely wrong about a couple of things. Like, I think somebody pretty much just made up a thing from one of the side endings from whole cloth. And I expressed that badly, but what I'm saying is that other than the part where it would have been from an alternate ending, which didn't really count for the purposes of what I was doing, I'm pretty sure that what they were saying was complete bullshit anyway. But I digest. But not whatever the Yoshis were originally going to do to Baby Mario. I actually just rewatched that a couple days ago. That's right. That's right, Brian. I'm stealing your jokes now. It's one of those things where it's like the weird stuff that will just alter your manner of speech, right? Like, I see a lot of posts nowadays about people, mostly in my age bracket and a little older, talking about how their manner of speaking was like basically permanently altered as a consequence of watching Homestar Runner back in the day. And I don't know how much like Homestar Runner you necessarily were a viewer of. I'm pretty sure that you watched some of it based on some things I seem to recall from a couple of videos, which is a weird thing to be like, hey, yeah, I remember you saying something about Strong Bad, so I know you know it exists, but I digress. See, this time I said the right word. I've seen a lot of people who are like, yeah, I really did pick up a lot of, like, basically verbal tics from it. So it'll just be like, hey, yeah, weird shit will just basically alter your brain chemistry almost and make you talk funny. And hey, some of the stuff that you've made has done that to me too. I say but I digest like all the time now after you said it in Deja Vu and in Yoshi's Island, and I think possibly in something else, but nice. Oh hey, are we on the... Well, that's weird. Are we on the dangerous side of this? The answer there is yes. Where's the damn molehill? I don't remember. Well, it's not here, that's for sure. 'Cause that just led straight into Clanker's mouth. Isn't it past that point in the other direction or something? And I would have to come in from somewhere else. I know it's inside the old shark, but, well, on a technicality, it's the safe side because we're not going through the deadly saw blades. No, that one is like fairly crossable without taking damage, I think, actually, and I just kind of chickened out a little bit. Yeah, so that's definitely not happening for me. Because, boy, I have not exactly been making myself look very impressive there. Crumbkins Crumblins, I believe is the username there. How are you doing, champ? Yeah, see, the most impressive part about that is that it's a completely dry area. Glad to hear you're doing all right. Oh wow, yeah, no, that's fair actually. I knew I was cutting it close there, but I thought I could get away with it. Unfortunately, that was not the case. That's the last hoop, right? Yeah, Clanker's Cavern. Boo Earns! If I just hadn't have gotten whipped by that gross thing, we would have been okay. Unfortunately, such was not to be. Oh, you. Alright, now let's try not being an idiot about... Oh. Well, I'm pretty sure that this loop is going to get reset as well because I went in the wrong order. Yeah, especially doing that. I think now would be a... No, Brian, I haven't thought about that, you silly man. You know this. We've played stuff before, so for anyone who's like, hey, yeah, is he roasting you a little too hard? No, I ain't care. He's seen me play Risk of Rain. You know, skills that are totally applicable to this game. Oh, oops. Okay, get on the very edge of the box. And this, yeah, so this is the two hoops. Hang on, I'll read that in a second. That is several words. Your cosplay as and what you got for your mom is an early Christmas present. Well, yeah, why not? It's something to add a conversation, right? Hooray, we managed to not fuck it up for once. Every once in a while, I just gotta, you know, try a little harder, but unfortunately, I'm not good at that. Pick up the... Ah, I see. There's one of those things. That reminds me of, like, for some reason, the weird flesh tendrils in this level, even though they're completely out of place for it, it reminds me of, like... Hooray! We got all the Jinjos. And I was not upright, so I was like, what the fuck? Maracas guy from Paper Mario Sticker Star. Shy Guy variant, wear a sombrero and play the maracas. That's an interesting choice on their part too. Got your mom's Super Mario World for the SNES. Neat. So I guess your mom is into like old school video games too, huh? That's kind of cool. The rest of my family is not. There aren't really any gamers in the rest of my family, so. I mean, my brother, but I haven't seen my brother in like 20 years because he moved out when I was younger. So. Oh, Breesolf. You say that like there isn't a whole YouTube channel of you playing very old video games and some less old. Also likes Burger Time, doesn't have an NES anymore. Well, I don't believe I've played Burger Time on like any of the various machines that it has been on. Usually when I think of Burger Time, I think of it as being like a very, very old PC kind of thing, right? Like, you know, back in the days before Windows was a thing, back before Microsoft basically took over a very large percentage of computing. Donut Dodo, I don't know what that is offhand, so you stumped me. Okay, yeah, this is pretty safe. We're still gonna take a couple of hits because I'm overdoing it a little bit, and also, to be honest, I think my eyesight is not as good as it used to be when I was younger. Oh, MTPO. I've got a Punch-Out cart somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's MTPO. Gosh, I really hope so, because, like, I mean, come on. Is there someone out here who's gonna be like, man, I've got Punch-Out. I got Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I would really rather have the one with Mr. Dream. Oh, is it worth more? Huh. That's interesting. I never would have guessed. All right, yeah, so here we go. We got the Wonder Wing. Does it make it invincible? To most things. Don't jump in any lava. Let's copy. Okay, yeah, that makes a little more sense. I'm kind of surprised, I guess, that there are more copies of the Mr. Dream Punch-Out than there are of MTPO, but I guess probably because, hey, yeah. Excuse me, thing that was printed later. And we all know about shelf life just in general, and I do love that metallic clank when you block a hit. That's pretty good. OG DK and Burger Time. That's quite a combination there as a thing there. Neat. That's quite interesting. Large amount of oddball games out there that I don't know anything about. Anyway, it's been eons since I've touched Punch-Out. I was never good at that to begin with, but I bet I'm even worse now. Okay, so what all am I missing from this level? I'm missing one of those that's back inside the shark, isn't it? And I'm missing a couple of notes. I'm missing 18 notes. That's an odd number. New Yeah, no, Crumpkins just showed up for the first time here. As I slip into a little bit of a goofy accent for no good reason. Yeah, first time today, and yeah. I have known Brysolf for a hell of a long time. God, I'm pretty sure that way back when I first subbed to you. In fact, I'm going to pause and I'm going to have a quick look here. So some audio might bleed through, but I can probably do it without that. But I'm going to take a quick look and make an estimate here of the first time back when I subbed to you on YouTube was over 13 years ago. Because I remember exactly what video it was too, which is kind of wild. Alright, view full playlist. Yeah, it says 13 years ago, so that means it's over 13 years ago. I followed you for the... It was the second video of the FF1 hard type. That's when I followed. That was the first thing it was new. I'd seen you a couple of times before because I was already subbed to Roundy for a little bit. And I know that you two were obviously very good friends. And I seen you in his comments a lot, and I was just like, who is this guy? I see him all the time in here. And then, like, one of your videos just got recommended, and I was like, hey, let me give it a watch. It was the newest one at the time, so I was just like, hey, yeah, actually, the dude seems pretty cool. Follow him, and you know what? So far, you've basically been pretty cool. Most of the time I've known you for. Nice. I have not done anything of that sort in, well, to be fair, I haven't really gone much of anywhere in years. Oh yeah, powerful sports team, right? Brysolf here is... He's streaming a lot on Twitch. Yeah, because we've got some pretty strong teams going in some of these games, right? Do we still have a reverse sombrero candidate in TRB? Yeah, Brysolf is the main guy behind a stream project called Tecmo Rando Bowl, which he streams over on his channel basically weekly, where he randomizes a Tecmo Super Bowl ROM and has the teams play against each other, like all computer players. And it is absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, him and Fearon Burgundy, who Fearon Burgundy doesn't show up in here very much. He came in here one time to roast me when I was doing SMZ3, and I mean, he was absolutely right to, because I played that like shit. I'm real bad at Link to the Past, and I've rarely felt a huge inclination to like improve my LTTP game. It's an alright game, but not my favorite Zelda. I am a preferer of Zelda 1. Oh yeah, NBA Jam is great. Great times. Oh yeah, did you go into overtime multiple times in that one too, or is there even multiple overtimes in basketball? Now I forget. But that game was incredible. The game was giving you the absolute business in that one. Ooh yeah. I can take a look at the long message you posted in just a second. Let me remove this. Remove. Sorry, that should be hyphenated. Oh yeah, Giants reverse sombrero and the Vikings. to be honest, Brian, I've seen how the Bucks played. I'm surprised that we haven't had, you know, the good old Tampa Bay Succaneers. I love the fact that you immediately, like, as soon as I said that, were like, I know you don't watch sports, Lidarian, but you seem like you know a lot of lore just by accident, and I know all kind of weird shit, but also that was just me being mean on purpose. Anyway, yes, so, oh hey, it's a little dancing Bowser, neat. Yeah, sign outside that has the color of a day. Yeah, I've seen this kind of stuff in a lot of the thrift stores I used to visit, especially back when I actually properly lived in Chicago and had better access to them. Now, I'm missing a couple of... Well, I know where the honeycomb is. It's back in the shark, and I have to actually remember to go get it. But I'm missing a few notes, and I'm like, wait a sec. Where am I missing those notes from? Did I get the first... Now, hold up, because I got that Jinjo. Yeah, so I can't possibly have the notes there. Oh my god, 8 years! 8 years for that absolute champion performance of a game. Of a meme fest. Holy shit, dude. I'm gonna turn it to dust. Repair the chin strap on your sombrero using a hot glue gun. Nice. Oh, you were still in... Wow. Damn, dude. Boy, what happened to the time? Like, I remember that like it was only like 5 years ago. Wow, that's some hitbox for you. It must be from that giant Kingler claw that fella's got. It's trying to use Crab Hammer on me. And it's not quite taken off exactly as planned, but it was hurting, so credit where it's due. Right? Right. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, you are correct, Brian. We got all the notes. The old Goosebumps series, the show. I don't remember it very well, but I remember it existed. The show was a Canadian production, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Or was that just Are You Afraid of the Dark? I know Are You Afraid of the Dark was Canadian. I remember the books pretty vividly. My brother used to read them. I was quite young for that at the time. Yeah. Filmed in Canada, both of them. Well, interesting. Had a bed sheet and you were scared of it, mostly the puppet. Yeah, I mean, that sort of thing with like dolls and stuff like that, those can often be kind of freaky. A little bit disturbing, you know. Well, we got everything in Clanko's cavern, at least I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna double check. Yeah, you can see our numbers for the lair. And you can see our time slowly cranking up there. Oh, god damn it. I forgot to go get the last honeycomb. Oops. Oh, geez. That's pretty rough. With any luck, it's hopefully, like, inured you against a little bit of being scared of stuff as an adult, I guess. But I'm not here to be an expert in that because, hey, yeah, psychology. I'm I don't know how people think. Are we sure they do? I mean, that's just mean. But listen, I've seen enough stuff out there that sometimes makes you question. You gotta... Oh, I was gonna say, it's a weird way to express that typo. That if it... without being typoed, rather. One car. Can't drive? It's okay, me neither. Like, if I try to get behind... Every time I used to try to get behind the wheel, so, you know, so that way I could learn how to drive, I would have this problem of just seeing every way that everything could go badly. And that's a big part of why I never really went any further with that. Got a cat, though. My family's more dog people, but cats are pretty alright. Is it not here? Am I stupid? Don't answer that. I already know the answer. I could have sworn that you had to fly around in here for the honeycomb. Wait, no, it's somewhere on the outside of the level, isn't it? It's on, like, the edge. In a little hole. No, it might be... Is it the end of a long path? I remember having to swim for it. Yeah, we lived. We got all our stuff. I'm just here, like, where's the last honeycomb? Because I already got the one that you have to stomp through the pipe. You got the strategy guide. Excellent. I used to have that somewhere and I don't know where it is anymore. Man, that's strategy guides. What a throwback. Swimming one, you're pretty sure. Yeah, that's what I was thinking after. Okay, yeah. All right, well, there's an Ekum Bokum here we can collect. That's right. We've got a lot of these weird-looking mummified heads. Mumbo, I have no idea what you're doing with these, but don't tell me about it. All right, so there's that. These little side pipes here are where the blue Jinjo is located. Green one is for the snippets. And then right off to the side of it is the Jiggy. And you can see a grating. So it's not one of those, is it? On the sea floor here? Well, and this sea seems like a bit of a thing. Yeah. Was I at least on the right track? Second drawer of strategy. Damn, dude. God, I don't have many of my... I don't have a whole lot of my old strategy guides anymore, which is kind of sad. I know I have somewhere... I have a Mario Kart Double Dash one, which unfortunately has never fixed the problem of the fact that I'm just kind of shit at that game. I love it, but I'm pretty terrible at it. I've got one for, what? I forgot what game it was. Oh yeah, I have one for Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X strategy guide, in that case. Pardon me. The Final Fantasy X strategy guide I have has a couple of interesting, misplaced pictures. I don't have the insert anymore, which was like a full sphere grid poster, which is pretty neat. Metal duct on the left side of the chamber, ground pound through a grate. That one sounds familiar. I think that's the one we got. But I'll take a I'll take a look anyway, because honestly, a hint is a hint. Not here. Pipe to swim. Oh, right! That's where it is! I knew I forgot somewhere real stupid. Oh, you can't surface in there. Alright. Well. Thank you very much, sir. See, those old chunks of paper really coming in handy. Shame I don't know where more of mine are, or if I even have them anymore. Yeah, other than the Double Dash one and the FF10 one, I have most of the remains of an absolutely wrecked Final Fantasy Tactics Advance guide. Like, the cover of it fell off, because I used to take that thing with me places. Even though FF Tactics Advance wasn't really like a hard game, I don't recall. I'm sure that, having said that, if I were to run through it again on this stream, I would just get my ass handed to me constantly. But I also just kind of like carrying it around because I like the art, and I used to be like vaguely capable of drawing. Not well or anything, but a little bit. So just having that as reference material way back in the day, you know, when it wasn't really feasible to carry around something that you could carry visual references on, was kind of fun. Found a bunch of PS2 RPG strategy guides in 2006 in your now wife's laundry room at her apartment. Fantastic. Well, I gotta say something. At the very least, so far, one strategy guide you own has absolutely come in handy for someone 20 years later. So, keeping weird minutia like that around is pretty cool. God, I wonder if Roundy is still doing his thing where he's like archiving old game mags and, you know, talking about them. Or if he canned that one early, which, to be fair, I would understand why he would, because it would be kind of scary to... You know, the copyright police might get up his ass for trying to archive old Game Informer or something. But yeah, I for one would love a stream of just like digging through old strategy guides and stuff. Stuff like that is pretty neat, but also, to be fair, remember that I'm saying that also from the perspective of I've had to research stuff in a couple of old magazines and shit for some videos, some of which still haven't been made yet, but one of these days they will. So they're actually much more useful than you would expect. The edge you were featured in. Nice. Anyway, we've managed to open another note door that we really don't need to, but we can go take a quick look here and see if there's anything for us of note at this point. Oh, hey, this dude's here. We can activate the shock pad. Yeah, that just sort of happened by accident. Listen, they can't all be zingers. They definitely can't all be on purpose. Yeah, not in this game. It's okay, the zingers come back in DK64. Ah, who am I kidding? Continuity in the Donkey Kong Country series is weird. Don't apply logic to it. You won't like what you get there. They got better, yep. Anyway. Yeah, we can't get that jiggy right now, is probably not surprising. We've only hit 3 witch switches and we've gotten all 3 jiggies from them, so why would they give you a freebie? There's 9 levels in this game. And each one of them has 1 switch. Plus you get the 1 freebie jiggy to learn the basic mechanics, which, judging by my play, we need a little bit more help with. Oh well. Now folks, I have to switch my console off between sessions for obvious reasons. Y'all want to see a game over real quick? Yeah, let's see this game over sequence. Say goodbye to all our 1-ups. I can hear it, Breeself. Say as I continue to call you Breeself. Yeah, this one's a bit of a... little bit on the classic side here. 6 years old, damn. Damn. That's a lot of dots in that ellipsis. Well, that'll do for our first stream of this. I'll pick this up on Wednesday.